We're back. That's right. You know what time it is. Tuesday, 8 p.m., Chateau de Marseille Studio up in Indiana. We have a heck of a show. Well, I do, really, because I'm the only guy that is talking right now. So, lots to talk about. The Kendall interview. I feel I'll talk about it later, but we got to talk about the Kendall interview, the Bavino event, and then Kendall ripping to shreds the Libertarians. Jimmy in the chat, let's go. So first things first, I got to do a little house cleaning. I am getting review bombed right now on Indie Reporter on the Facebook. I was at like 30% or even 28%, but as you can see, there are some people who are going into the comments of Indie Reporter and then dragging us through the mud, whatever. So if you could go onto the Indie Reporter Facebook and just put a nice 5-star review. I think when I created the Facebook, it was not supposed to be a business, but it is what it is. Larry in the chat, let's go. And then also make sure that you go and hop on the let me put this in the private chat so you can put this in the regular chat for me. Make sure you go watch my interview with Rob Kendall. It was a whole lot of fun. It was 30 minutes, give or take. I know there's like probably like 10 minutes worth of commercials or 2 minutes worth of commercials. And we talked about 7 topics: the Bovino rally, the Palestine referendum, Max Engling. And I'm actually gonna talk about all of that because it was, I'm not dogging the whole thing. There's a lot to cover, and I blame myself that I didn't get to cover a lot of things that I wanted to talk about, because there was a lot of missed things that I had on my sheet, as you can see right here, but I did not talk about. Oh, let me move this over real quick. There we go. And so make sure you go over there. We're going to get 1,000 views on it. I'm already feeling really good about it. We're going to get 1,000 views on that one. I think it'll be like the most views on his show for sure. All right, so let me talk about what happened with the Kendall interview. Well, actually, let me talk about this first. Bo Bai got $10,000 last week from In This Together PAC. And I think I had heard about this, and then I do remember this is Andy Bershaw's PAC. He's the governor of Kentucky. Lame, but whatever. I think he did a podcast with them a few months ago. So I don't think, actually, no, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think this is the first time that he's gotten this amount of money from him. Let's give it a quick look, because I don't think this is the first time that he's received money from Bershaw. We'll do that. We'll do this. In This Together PAC. Yep. Oh, he also gave $100,000 to McCormick in 2024. Imagine just having like $100,000 to give to somebody. Can you imagine that, people in the chat? Hey, and then you give it to a governor candidate like Jessica McCormick. Is it Jessica or Jennifer? I always confuse the two. Thank you for that. So yeah, there we go. All right, so you guys probably saw this tweet the other day about Susie Jaworowski, aka Susie Jaws. Right now, she's the Secretary of Energy and Natural Resources. Now, what's really funny is that almost since day one, she has been talking about data centers and energy generation and how much we need it. And I need 100K too, Larry, for sure. Give me that 100K. About data centers. Oh, and also the data centers will lower everybody's electric bills, utility bills, which we know is total BS. So that happened. I found the press release from Braun in December of 2024 that he was appointing Susie Jaws as the Secretary of Energy and Natural Resources. Now, just over a year later, her hubbo, Steve Jaworowski, Stevie Jaws, he becomes the director of marketing at Gaylor Electric. And we don't forget, at Gaylor Electric, they said they have designed and built some of the largest, most robust data centers in the country. And then what happens 4 months later? Chuck Goodrich, who also gave money, I think, to the PAC to give the money to the Senate candidates in the primary, He becomes the Secretary of Commerce, and he said during the press release with Braun that he will continue serving as CEO of Gaylor. Dems had no data centers at their table. That's good. Good for them. So anyway, so let's all connect the dots real quick. Indiana's energy secretary is helping shape policy around attracting data centers, and so is Braun. He wants the data centers too, and expanding energy infrastructure. Her husband is marketing for a company that designs and builds some of the largest data centers in the country, and the CEO of that company now oversees Indiana's economic development strategy. Go figure, right? I mean, you really can't make any of this stuff up, and when this was part of his LinkedIn. But let's go a step further than that. Now, apparently, this is the old kiddo, Matt Jaworowski. He used to work for the IEDC. That's right. Our favorite place in the whole world, the place that I call the volcano that will create the extinction event for Indiana. But then he leaves there in December of 2024, which I suspect is because they're going to be figuring out all the new IEDC stuff. Barbara in the chat, let's go. Brad in the chat. Brad, I got something really funny for you. All right. When you start talking about stuff, I got something. I got one ready for you. Okay. You're my Will Stancil. All right. So anyway, Matt Jaworowski, he leaves the IEDC and then he joins the director. Then he joins the IU Launch Accelerator for Biosciences, aka IU Lab. He's the director of operations and program development. Now, why is that so funny? Well, because David Rosenberg, who is the former COO and chief of staff for the IEDC that eventually became the Secretary of Commerce under Holcomb, who was appointed, and then became the president and CEO of IU Lab. You see the what is it? The disgusting incest politics of it. And I said it. Hey, you know what? It's not what you know. It's who you know and who you're related to. That will always help you get a little bit faster down the slide into lots of money, I'm sure. All right. So I have not posted that on Twitter or Facebook. So you guys are getting a sneak peek. Drew in the chat. Let's go. Of what is to come tomorrow. So let's talk about the Indians and what happened over the weekend. Now, of course, we had the Bavino event that happened on Saturday, which I'll talk about here in a little bit. But you had the Punjabs. They had their little rally that they were driving around the highway apparently on Saturday. Now, I heard about it, but then I was planning on going and checking it out, but you know, you got to be ready for the Bavino event. So once I found out what time we had to meet, I didn't have enough time to, I had to go onto the other side of Marion County, and I just didn't feel like doing that. I wanted to lock in. Plus, I really wanted to check out Wally's. Hey, spoiler alert, their beef jerky at Wally's is way better than the beef jerky at Buc-ee's. All right, so anyway, oh man, I got something in my ear. Anyway, I think you guys saw the social media post of this Jafar looking fellow of him. He had like a sword with him and he was hanging up a Palestine referendum sign up over in Greenwood. So someone told me about this sign on Friday. Yeah, two people like within an hour of each other told me about this sign. So I go over to Brownsburg last Friday so I can get a picture of it. Wally's is over in Whitestown. So if you're going up to Lebanon, the Whitestown exit is the one right after that. I guess they're building a Wawa over there too. Or actually they're building a Buc-ee's over in Whitestown as well. Dude, do you guys remember the fast food wars when you had like a Burger King right across the street from McDonald's? The old Pepsi versus Coke war? Oh man, this is going to be the gas station wars. This is going to be who can have the golden calf and sell the most brisket in garbage beef jerky. So anyway, I went over there. I took a picture of it, and I was able to. Someone sent their this guy Snapchat Jafar over here. Why am I talking about this? Because a lot of us, especially yours truly, gets a little bit black pilled now and then, and I don't like it. I don't like feeling like we're losing the battle against a bunch of third worlders who don't believe in taking a shower or staying clean or showering themselves in cow urine or covering their floors with cow poo poo. I don't want that to become Indiana. We are a first world country. We are a first world state. And I would like to keep it that way. Of course, I live in the left armpit of Indiana, known as Marion County. So we can only do what we can do. Don't stick a pen in your ear. Yeah. Special power in the chat. Let's go. So I hopped into the Snapchat from Akali96 Crowry, aka Jafar, and the comments on here are very white pilling. Get out of our country. Christ is Lord. Jesus is the only one. Indianapolis isn't the place for y'all. Go back to Habibi. Why is this on my feed? I live in Brownsburg. It's becoming New Delhi. Been a while since I've seen a comment section so full of low intelligent people. Shut up, dummy. Oh, hell no. Go back to your third world country. A lot of based comments. That's all I know. I'm not buffering. You keep buffering. Hold on. I'm not buffering on my end. Oh, yeah, I'm buffering. Hold on. Are they killing my internet? I think the Indians are killing my internet again. All right, I got to move on. No, not dial-up. No, remember, every time I talk about the Indians on Saturday night, I start to lose my internet. This is what's happening again. Every time I talk about Indians, I lose my internet. All right, time to move on. All right. Anyway, there's more of this on Snapchat with this dude, this dork right here. Jerper, jerper, gerper, gerper. Star Wars name stuff. AOL, baby. AOL. Anyway, this is something that I wanted to talk about as well at the during. Hold on, let me make sure I don't have. Is anything bogged? I might have something open that's bogging it down. All right, am I good now? I think I'm good. They do not want you to talk about it. It's so true, Steve Jackson. It's so true. Dude, did I stop buffering? Hold on. Nope, guess not. Whatever. I'm gonna keep going on. I'm probably have something that's drawing a bunch of. Oh, hold on. Maybe that's what it is. Oh, there it is. That's probably what it is. Okay. Hold on. Make sure nothing's dragging my stuff down. I probably just need to restart my computer, but I'm not going to do that. All right. So anyway, Operation Hardball. You guys remember that? It was like a transnational gang stuff with allegedly led by Lawrence Bashani, which is like this huge Indian problem, a huge Indian gang. I have my volume all the way up. Don't give me that crap. Yeah, everything's good. Luke Lomax sounds like you need to sell Steven some internet. Yeah. You know what? Maybe. It might be the Indians. Okay. So anyway. Am I still buffering? No, I think I'm all right. So anyway, this was something I wanted to talk about with Kendall about this Bashani group and the Operation Hardball. And so basically this whole Palestine referendum, you guys probably saw it on Facebook too. It has no power at all. It's basically political theater. You have a bunch of people, a bunch of Indians that are going to show up and vote for something that has zero meaning. So there it is, what it is. But anyway, let's move on with it. It's got to be the Indian stuff. I'm telling you, it's got to be the Indian stuff. Still buffering is repeating a few times. Hold on. Let me shut something down real quick. I'm gonna shut that down and that. And the IEDC transparency portal. Yeah, okay. I don't even have that many tabs open. Hold on, let me start killing the tabs. No, I want to keep that one up. I'll keep that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Okay. I actually hate Gates now. All right, so I wanted to talk about this nuclear stuff too. I think it's a whole scam. Kendall totally agrees with me as well. I don't think that this is going to go anywhere. what you have right now are all these coal companies that are trying to figure out how they can still remain relevant and still make money, even though it costs a ton of money to clean all of them up. Not only clean all of them, but keep them running. So you're going to try and get some of these nuclear plants, especially with SMRs that have all the grid infrastructure ready, but even that will be complicated as well. I don't know if they're going to be able to pull it off. Probably not, but I was talking about the Palisades. Oh, and also this one. I saw Rokita is trying to keep the Rockport generating station open. I mentioned something on Kendall's show about them possibly using this for crypto mining. And I think I was wrong. I think I was wrong. I think I'm thinking of another one. But anyway, because I could have swore I saw it from Hannah News, but I was looking for an article on it and might have been wrong on it. Whatever. I don't care. But I do want to talk about the Palisades. Now, this is what I was talking about. This is going to be the first time in history where we have a nuclear plant trying to be reoperated, reopened, refurbished, and see what will happen. I know this is wiki. Take it for what it is. $1.5 billion in federal loan to restart the Palisades. And you get an extra $300 from the Michigan as a loan. They're going to have to pay it back. And they're going to have to use the basically revenue from the profit of selling the energy to other places. I don't know if it's going to happen. Apparently, this was supposed to be operational in October of 2025. It has not. But I thought this was the most interesting part. According to New York Times, this was just July 30th. The Palisades restart is now expected to be by the end of the year, which I'm sure it'll be extended past that. And they gave a bunch of reasons why. Work continues on the plan, but is yet to reach operations and now faces more deadlines. According to Haltech, is aiming to load fuel into the nuclear reactor in September, which is next month. Records show and generate power by the end of the year. It faces a 2027 contractual deadline. And so if they don't pay the loans off, guess what happens? The government takes it over. Because it's basically repoing a car, but they're going to repo a nuclear center. This is what I thought was really interesting, and I think this is what they're going to try to use to try and pay back the loan. I just found this article. This is from July 22nd. Holtec Nuclear Corporation, which is the one trying to reopen the nuclear plant over in Michigan, the Palisades, are pursuing an IPO to fund growth, diversify revenue, and accelerate its SMR 300 technology commercialization. Now, what their goal is to reopen the nuclear plant and then start working on building SMRs right next to it. I don't think that's going to happen. They're still nowhere close. I think Holtec is like the one that's closest next to GE. I think it was. I'm pretty sure that was the other one. We'll see what happens. Am I still buffering? That's what I know. If I'm still buffering, I'm gonna be mad. If I'm not buffering, I'm gonna be even more mad because it'll prove my point that every time I talk about Indians, my computer starts to take a dump. I think I'm good because I'm watching the stream right now on my end, and I don't see anything buffering. Anyway, risks include regulatory delays, cost overruns, blah 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 blah. I'm not buying it. I don't believe any of it. We'll see what happens, though. All right. So the Drake report. If you guys don't know about the Drake report, it's Amy Drake. She is running for city council over in St. Joseph County. What I thought was the most interesting part of this was what her experience is right now with this Amazon project. So let me give you a quick breakdown of it. They're building a massive data center. When the project was approved, they agreed to have a large property tax abatement. So in 2027, the first year the county will collect property taxes from the project, is expected to pay $12.5 million. It is the Indians. It is the Indians. I knew it. The Indians are after me. I don't know how to fight this. I don't know how to fight the poop. So anyway, it's the curry. It truly is, Barbara. It is definitely the curry. So anyway, Amazon expected to pay about $12.5 million. But if they did not have the property tax abatements, they would be paying $50.3 million. So the difference is roughly 37.7 in local tax revenue the taxpayers are giving up because of the incentive agreement, and the number could grow because Amazon has expanded the project. The original plan called for about 16 data centers, but now they're talking about having 32 complexes. The project is massive. Amazon says it has invested $9 billion with about 935 non-construction employees currently on site, which is okay. Well, damn it. All right, it wasn't the Indians. But this is what I was talking about a few months ago. Do you guys remember that alleged illegal that fell through the roof of that data center over in Michigan City? And then the unions, they put out a press release or something with IDEM maybe, or the IUR. I think it was the IURC. They said they want them to be investigated. They think there's undocumented immigrants that are working on the data centers, and it should be our guys basically. But then we come to find out that these construction companies aren't even in the state. So all these construction jobs that everybody keeps talking about, it helps Indiana in no way because you're not collecting any of the income tax. So they can F off. I'm not here for any of that. But anyway, so they're trying to change the abatements now where they're getting more of the money. But if you're not following Amy Drake, make sure you are. She's got a Substack too. She talks about everything in St. Joseph County with all the drama over there. And I can tell you right now, there is a massive amount of drama happening in St. Joseph County. I thought Marion County is bad. These people, it might actually be worse over there because it's more like Republican on Republican crime. Thanks, Brad. All right, so let's talk about the IEDC for a quick second. I talked about this during Kendall's thing. There is a building called the Emerging Manufacturing Collaboration Center. Hey, I was right. Not bad. Pretty good memory, huh? I didn't even have that written down. Now, what's funny about that is that they have IEDC. I don't think they're doing it anymore, but they had a lease agreement with the people that own the building. So guess who owns the building? When you look up the address of the emerging EMC squared, it goes back to Chad Pittman, which goes into the next segue. If you guys don't know, Barbara has a lawsuit summary right now. I'm not going to get too much in the details of it, but this is what the case is really about. The issue concerning IEDC is unusually simple. Did a public economic development agency protect an Indiana startup contractual opportunity, or did it help remove that company from the project and redirect overlapping taxpayer-funded work to a favored contractor? So far, they're still going through the whole legal process. Of course, it's going to be a long, drawn-out case. We already know. But there's a reason why I am talking about it, not only because that this involves with the IEDC, but also the contract that I just found when I was going through the transparency portal before the show started. This is from the IEDC with a deal with Bowes, McKinney, and Evans. It is for $250,000. Our tax money is being used for this. The lawsuit filed by Dynamo Edge, which is Barbara's company, and Barbara Basella asserts that IEDC engaged in the misappropriation of their perpetuity technology and advances several complex claims involving intellectual property contracts and alleged interference with business relationships. This is bananas right now. Now, that our tax money is being used for this lawsuit, $250,000. But here's what's even more insane of how much they charge per hour. I looked at the agreement right here. $635 an hour that Bowes McKinney is charging right now. Yeah, well, if I disconnect right now, I lose the stream and I ain't coming back. I mean, this is a crazy amount of money. So if it's a crazy amount of money for the IEDC of our taxpayer money, I can only imagine how much it's going to be for Barbara and Dynamo Edge. So I will be keeping a very close eye on this thing. It should be very interesting to see. Data centers real quick. The reason why all this nuclear stuff is happening right now, what I mentioned was the data centers. They talked about it during the Summer Reliability Forum. And if you look them up, it's like 23 times that they mentioned data centers. Rewind and watch them past the video with them buffering. Oh, interesting. That is interesting. Maybe it's on John's end. I don't know. All right, let's talk about the Bavino rally, boys and girls, because I am here now that a public statement has come out. I'm able to talk a little bit more in depth about it. Now, when I did Kendall's interview yesterday, I couldn't say too much, and not on our end. Can hear you now. Oh, okay, that's interesting. I don't know. Maybe I need to restart my computer. It might be like the ton of videos that I have on my end too. Yeah. What the hell was that? Oh, anyway. All right. So what was really funny about the whole thing is the duping, the switch work that they were doing. Now, of course, there are three people that have no idea what they're talking about. Black Indie Live, Cassie Jackson, and our friend Abu Hakim Shabazz. It doesn't. Steve Jackson, it doesn't at all. It does. It helps us not whatsoever. The nuclear stuff is a scam. They're going to get a bunch of tax incentives. The data centers are getting a bunch of tax incentives, and Nicole's company are going to make their money because they're going to be using locations for nuclear, allegedly. So there are three people on here that really flubbed it up. And in fact, the libertarians kind of fell for it too, which I'll talk about here. Cassie Jackson, Abu Hakim Shabazz, and Black Indy, they all fell for it. They all fell for it. So I will tell you what the hold on, I want to make sure. Yeah, and for some reason, I'm not exactly sure why the libertarians even got involved for this. Yeah, I have Discord, baby. Dude, if you don't know, this is where I put all of my information that I'm going to use for later. I put all the stuff that I'm probably going to talk about. There's two locations that I have all my information stored. Discord and things that I've sent to myself on Twitter. I don't even use Facebook anymore. Do you want the link, Brad? I'll give you the link. Yeah, John, if you can. All right, so yeah, let's go. Wart is right, baby. We're about to go into the Bavino rally stuff. All right, so there was a email that got sent out to people. I'll do what I can. Everybody got an email. First off, everybody got vetted, including yours truly. And I told those people from Save Heritage, Indiana, if anybody goes to you and says that I vouched for them through Indie Reporter, don't believe them, because I am not vouching for anybody. And then they're like, oh, that's really good. I appreciate that, because people have, when they're like trying to give like a list of a reference, they're like, oh, well, you know, I watch Indie Reporter. I really like what Indie Reporter is doing. And I thought I was dying when they told me that. It was really funny. So everybody got an email, right? And then I won't say who it was, but there was one particular person that they knew was an infiltrator. That person got a fake email. And since they knew that person was going to leak where the location was, I thought it was going to be JD Thomas, to be honest with you. That everybody got leaked out of where the location was, which was Greenfield. So there was a Greenfield address that apparently went to the Hankook or Greenfield Library, which allegedly it was closed or there's construction, and then everybody starts putting up, including this fucking clown, this absolute clown right here, who is like, oh, you know, the latest on the mass deportation rally. This is why when anybody says that Abu is a legitimate journalist, they just need to don't believe them. All right. There's like a half serious of like, well, you know, he's the only one that talks. Yeah, he talks crap. That's what he does. And he doesn't verify anything. He's literally just posting shit that he heard from somebody else instead of doing any real research. See, if I were that person, I would have went over there and checked it out and got video of it. And then I would have verified that's what was going on. Or I would have just stayed silent. Hey, I don't know if this is true. Anybody over 100 IQ should have known that you're dealing with elite chads, all right? That you're dealing with no joke MFers. You're dealing with people that have already seen every direction where it's going to go, so who's going to be our leaker? And that's what they did. And guess what? People fell for it. And they kept falling for it. Even this right here ended up in a tent in Clinton County. And they were to say that, oh, well, it was that they thought it was going to be held in a cornfield in Greenfield in Hancock County. And they said it was in Clinton County. Guess what? It still wasn't in Clinton County. You're still wrong. Yeah. No, well, no, I'll talk about that because Lucas already briefly talked about it, which we'll talk about here in a sec. I'll bring it up here in a sec. John will bring in the audio that he was with Elvie and Lopez, which some people were mad about the cloak and dagger stuff. I wasn't. I dig into that because I understand why. Because Democrats and liberals, basically everybody on the left, are crazy and they want you dead. They want to rape your children and they want your head on a pike. Literally, they get mad when you want to take away porn from libraries. They get mad when you want illegals that rape children deported from the country. They get mad. Here, you know what, Brad? Here, you know what? I'm gonna keep playing this in the background. I'm gonna keep playing this in the background while I'm talking, and I'm gonna try and explain to people like Jerry Lopez or Brian Elvey or Jim Lucas or Brad over here that they're saying that why are we scared of protesters? Why should we be worried? Why should listen? We're not gonna hurt you. And then I want everybody to play this video every single time that they said you're scared of protesters. Every time that I hear from the left or little cunt bags like Brad saying, what do you have to worry about? I'm going to replay this video every time. I don't want you to look away. I want you to look at this every single time when I hear people like Lopez or Alvy and Lucas or anybody else saying, why did you have to pull this cloak and dagger stuff? Why do you have to hide from the protesters? Why should you have to worry about your safety? Well, because you're all fucking crazy. That's why. And most of you should be institutionalized or lobotomized, or you should just be deported by helicopter ride. And I want you to remember this video every single time when you guys start questioning, why do you have to hide? Why do you have to pull this cloak and dagger stuff? Because of this. Yes, Brad, you are crazy, okay? You're just a different form of crazy. But the person that you brought with to your whatever event, that person is crazy. So you're automatically with that person traveling somewhere, a married woman too, which is even creepier. Yeah. That's why. Yeah, we like Brad. Here, this is how I look at Brad. So, listen, this is Brad right here. This is our cute and sweet little guy. He has, this is Wheels right here. This is how I look at Brad every time. He's just so cute and little sweet. He has no legs. He's, and we love him, sure. He's difficult to deal with sometimes, but we still love him because he's our cute and sweet little guy. So anyway, and then I don't know what happened. I don't know who runs the Hancock County Libertarian page, but man, you guys, they fell for it too. And this is what makes me laugh. I'm going to talk about Kendall's absolutely nuking libertarians in a little bit. And this is right here. And everybody kept saying that this is what everybody was saying. Is like, oh, it's all going to be held at this location. And even here, ticket holders were directed to a parking area in Greenfield at 6 p.m. This was like the next day. I archived it too because I wanted to make sure. Oh, this wasn't it. Oh no, this was it. The rally. I archived it too because he had it on what day? He had it on August 3rd, which was, is that today or yesterday? That was Monday, I think. Yeah, that was yesterday. And he still had posted it. This dope right here still posted it, thinking it was in Greenfield. That's why I archived this article. Because like, oh, ticket holders were directed to a parking area in Greenfield. No, they weren't. Where they showed identification before proceeding into a small site. The rally was held under a rented pole tent on a private property in Clinton County. Greenfield is over here. Clinton County is over here. Do you think that someone would have taken a 45-minute drive from the other side of central Indiana and leaving your car there? No, that was never going to happen. I know. That's why I'm not giving you any crap, Larry. I know. That's why. I just thought it was funny. I don't know who runs it. I don't want to give you guys too much crap about it. It would have been easier just to stay out of it. Whenever I don't want to get involved with anything, I just stay out of it. Plus, like, I'm a huge proponent of freedom of speech. You want to put any slur out there into the ether, I'm totally good with that. I don't care what consonant that it starts with. I don't care if it's a C, an F, an N, an A. Say them all. It means nothing to me. You know what I mean? Anyway, so this is what he was talking about when he talked about safety, was this stuff right here. And I saw these, by the way. This is what I was talking about with Kendall. Greg Bavino is holding a mass deposition rally. I don't know if this guy's high. And Fisher's on August 1st. He might consider wearing a bulletproof clothing and head helmet. Be cautious, asshole. And then there was a battery on that. Daniel, I'm disappointed. I know who this person is too. I was shown the email. Disappointed you wouldn't. This person got refunded. Just want to let you know my group and I will be attending right outside it. And if you guys would like to participate in civil dialogue. Hey, asshole, I'm willing to have civil dialogue with you. Why don't you come and see me? And they're going to be flying drones recreationally, exercising their Second Amendment. ISP have already confirmed multiple times that we're allowed to protest while carrying firearms. That's cool. And then this person, apparently this happened at Life Church on Sunday. These are the Cassie Jackson people that I'm talking about, the friends with Brad that wants to go to random events with married women. This lady was apparently going to church. And then there were some crazy people there that just started screaming, not even at the rally, not because they weren't there. They were just going to church. And some person in a microphone telling them, I hope your children fucking die. And I hope they fucking burn in hell. These are people who are friends with Brad, by the way. The people that Brad goes with to long trips with married women with. It's not even a little bit crazy. Yeah, that was a big mess up by Kramer, by the way, Brad. Massive mess up by him. My 4-year-old daughter is strapped in her car seat. My 11-year-old son was right next to her. Both of them sat there completely confused, watching a grown man lose his mind and repeatedly scream death threats at them while we were simply turning left onto a street. We didn't know who they were. This kind of stuff. So when Brian Alvey or Jerry Lopez or Jim Lucas are wondering, why don't we just have this stuff in the open? Hey, no big deal. When's the last time that Jerry or Brian has gone to a protest? Jim Lucas, I don't know the last time that he's been protest, but this was obviously all cloak and dagger. About deporting, but that's it. All right, so John, if you have that clip, go ahead and play it.
We are going to be joined right now by Indiana State Representative Jim Lucas, who was in attendance on Saturday. And I've got to come right out and ask, because Indy Politics, our very own Abdul Hakim Shabazz posted, mass deportation rally ends up under a tent in a Greenfield cornfield. On Indy Politics, where the heck did this thing even take place? And can you clear up all of our questions, Jim? Thank you for joining us.
Okay. First off, repeating anything that Abdul says automatically is a bad idea. And I would hope, listen, I still love Jerry, and I hope that he learns from this. Never believe anything that comes out of Johnny Wallace's mouth. And definitely don't believe anything that he posts, because as you can see, he didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. So yes, there was a van that picked you up. It was in Clinton County, and it drove you to a place like 5 minutes away, if that. And I know people were complaining about the weather. And listen, we had 2 weeks where they were saying there was going to rain. In fact, all my water barrels emptied out, and I was planning on getting rain to fill them up. And that never happened. And then all of a sudden, that happens. But you think about something that's going to happen that's first. Do you think the founding fathers were like, we're going to find a safe and dry area and then complain when it starts to get a little bit rain? No. They're like, we have a message to send. We have a mission to complete. We will keep going no matter the weather. Now, I will admit it was I have to give a little bit of criticism to it. I thought it was a bad idea to have, but at the same time, like, there was a dress code where you had to have a tie. I actually went and bought a tie. I've been meaning to buy a new tie for the suit. So whatever. At the same time, like, nobody predicted that the weather was going to be as rainy as it did. I mean, you had like a tornado happen over in Johnson County. It was there were pockets of it where it was muddy. It wasn't muddy everywhere. There were like a little bit of pockets because where we were, the rain was just so heavy that you couldn't even control any of the water. So like that picture where that guy was sitting, that was like the heaviest spot. Everywhere else was relatively dry. I mean, my shoes got muddy, that's for sure. But it is what it is. And I understand Jim's criticism of it. But at the same time, like, this is basically a war because we're being invaded right now. Like we saw on Saturday where you had 5 miles of third worlders that wanted to vote on something that means nothing, but they wanted to cause such a huge traffic backup. And by the way, what if you had an ambulance going through there, a cop? You saw people trying to get onto the highway and they were blocking them from merging. These are the people that we are trying to deal with right now. People that have zero assimilation, zero expectation to assimilate. They don't want to assimilate. They just want to bring their third world culture over here. And basically the whole message was, if you're not supposed to be here, you got to go. That's literally what it was. There was no racism on there. There was no burning crosses. There was no white hoods because you're not Democrats. Only the Democrats wear white hoods. There was no Roman salutes. There is none of that. Yeah, well, maybe if the left would stop acting so fucking crazy and have a civilized discussion and not shoot people, that would be pretty awesome. Until then, was Shreve supporting? No, Shreve was not there. And this whole the whole Jim Banks drama too was kind of a nothing burger. And the whole Nathan Roberts thing was such a nothing burger as well. He wasn't part of the planning committee. It was like weeks ago that he had left Shy, and it was basically like he needs to focus on Turning Point. That was my interpretation. And so you have basically this like massive amount of boomers, bunch of old school hippies. They're saying, no, we want these third world rapists coming in here, stealing everything. They want to come here and they want to have the benefits of being an American without actually assimilating. Hey, I should be able to do whatever I want while still getting the benefits of this country. But overall, I had a good time. I would do it over again. I would have wore a different set of shoes. That was only my the thing that I would have done differently. I think that was it, though, right? The Bavino rally. So I'll tell you what the how the flow went. Basically, you had Micah, or you had a video played, which was actually this video, and I'm not going to play it. It was this video that was played. Then you had Micah. He had a recorded message. You had Rokita, but here's the thing. Rokita didn't put out a recorded message. Their video was when he was talking about the SAVE Act. That's literally all it was. Then you had like 2 or 3 speakers explaining what the whole Save Heritage Indiana was and what they were there for. Then Bavino talked. That's what the whole thing was. He talked for like 20 minutes. No, half an hour. Yeah, like just over half an hour. I recorded the Bavino thing. I've been asked not to post it yet, and I will gladly. It wasn't a protest. It was a rally. It wasn't even a rally. It was a speaking event. That's the thing too. What everybody thinks that it was like we're gonna get 500 to 1,000 people. and we're gonna march the streets about deportations. No, it was strictly a paid speaking event for Greg Bavino to talk about deportations, and it was really about we are a nation of laws and we want to enforce the laws. That's all it was. Hey, you know what? Courage is a habit. It's coming to my birthday party. You should totally come, Brad. I bet you guys would get along just fine. I'm just kidding, by the way. Actually put their energy into something useful. That's what it is, too. Special power. It's like this is why, like, the boomers, there are some based boomers, so everybody don't take this too personally. But like once the boomers stop having the ability to vote, like things are really going to change. And right now we're having like there is a cold war happening right now between the left and right. And this is like the perfect image. What's this? Hey, guess what? This is kind of war. These people were probably complaining, but they understood what the message was, what the mission was, and what the bigger picture was. Maybe if you guys stopped acting so freaking crazy, it would be different. All right, so the last 5 minutes, going away party, if he's going to be there. The protest family. Johnny. Oh, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be at when is that? That's this month, right? Or is it? No, I think it's in September. All right, so stopping at Dora District, really the only party fighting to stop. Here's the thing, too, about Larry. Larry and Luke are like the only two based libertarians in Indiana, I think. They're running. I like those two. I wanted Larry to be the state chair. I thought he would do a much better. I don't know Stephanie at all. I know that they're probably if I make it through county on Saturday, I definitely will not make it through state. The state will put me into the guillotine, but it is what it is. All right, so I want to finish off with the next couple of minutes talking about the libertarians. So Rob asked me, and I'm so happy that Rob asked me. It was so based of him to ask me about if I'm still chair of the Marion County LP. And I said, yeah. And the reason why I think he asked me that was because I heard that Johnny Wallace, made some like snide, retarded comment on Indiana Focus about the former Marion County LP chair. And so people were messaging me about it. I didn't watch it. So I'm not exactly sure what he said. So I'm just telling you what I was told. And it sounded like he was telling people that I was no longer the chair. Guess what, fat boy? I'm still the chair, you ugly piece of shit. And Mayor, I may or may not see you on Saturday. I don't care. You are a disgusting pig vomit, basically, and you need to be deported back to Illinois, where all the shitheads are. I was on the phone with you. Yeah, I know. And I don't know exactly what he said. That's the thing. But so Rob asked me if I was still the chair, and I said, yeah, but the vote's on Saturday. I'm sure I'll be kicked out of the chair position because basically they don't want to win. And that's been my argument since day one. And he brought it up as like, there was a post on Indie Reporter about immigration. And I said, yeah, that was their grenade to talk about the big picture. The deal is like libertarians are afraid to win. And if you want to go out and preach the libertarian philosophy, you don't need ballot access for that. I hate to break it to you, but if that is your only purpose as being a party, as a group, as an organization, you don't need to go and be elected then. You don't need to run for office. You can go door to door like a Bible salesman and say, hey, sir or madam, have you heard about the libertarian philosophies? Here, take the shortest political test there is. I'm sure you'll do just fine. But I'm here to win. Yeah, form a social club. Go to a cigar and whiskey bar and talk about libertarian philosophy. Cool. I'm sure that'll be just fine. Unless you're going to run for office and win, what are you even doing then? And I said it on Rob's show, and I'll die on this hill. Unless you are running for office to win, you should not have, as a party anyway, you should not have ballot access. The Marion County GOP, they're not interested in winning Marion County. kick them off. Democrats are acting so dopey that they don't want to win. They know the easy message to go to get the fuck off. Libertarians, they don't want to win. You know the easy message. You know the Rainwater gave the blueprint of how to win in Indiana, how to win the red areas. But for some reason, everything stalled. Whether it was Rainwater who didn't want to keep the motion going on, whether it was the state that just said, you know what, we'd rather just spin our tires. We don't like the Rainwater message. And it really comes down is to the Mises people. The state party and now the national party, it appears, do not like the Mises message. They don't want the small L libertarianism. They don't want the paleoconservatism. And the problem is they just don't get it, that they have had ballot access for 30 something years, as Rob has said. And what have they done with it? 2 to 3%. The highest they ever got was in 2020 and 2022. The reason why I didn't vote for Jeff Maurer, even though I was going to vote for Jeff Maurer, was because he made the snide comment that was very leftist, and I was like, "Fuck this guy! I'm not gonna vote for that. If you're just gonna go left-hearted." So Rob I don't know if Rob was called a Nazi. I never asked him. But basically what happened is that he saw libertarians calling people that wanted illegals out of this country Nazis and part of the KKK and everything else. So Rob went on this amazing, like, hang it in the loo segment about the libertarians and how they should be kicked off of ballot access. And I completely agree with what he was saying. If this is how you're going to act, you've had this amount of time. You've had enough time to be on here. And if you don't want to win, why are you even running? Why are you a state party? You should just be in my opinion, an organization. Let the people that want to win run the show. And you know what? I will die on that hill. On Saturday, my message will be brief. If you want to win, you will keep me. If you don't want to win, you will boot me. And then that is all I will be saying. And I would say, you're welcome for getting so much attention on you as well. Let's get the vote started. Because as soon as I get kicked off, I'm out of there. I have an interview to give on a Democrat, and I'm going to the state fair after that. I'm not going to be around a bunch of people that constantly want to lose and just make snide freaking comments on Facebook. I don't want to be around a group of people that are refusing to win. I don't want to be around a group of people that just shrug their shoulders like, hey, but our principles, all right? Because at some point, you're going to have to find the gray area between the principles and the things that you want. The only way this is what have always made me laugh about libertarians, was they are afraid. And I truly believe this, not like me. I'm based in Chad. They are afraid what would happen if they got into elected office. And I know they're like shilling and sucking the dribble off of Justin Amash. He's a Republican that turned into a libertarian just last year. I think he turned into an independent between that. These people are afraid of what would happen if you were to actually catch the car, as they would say. So, Rob's segment was amazing. Exactly, special power. Rob's segment was spot on, and I really love the part about the Sceniac thing. I thought that was hilarious, because that was my whole criticism too back in 2022. It's like, that guy was so freaking nervous, and it seemed like he was totally unprepared for the moment. And by the way, let me show you guys something. I'll tell you what is how the sausage is made. Basically, Sceniac wants everybody to do the work and schedule a where the hell is it? They won't let me search. What the crap? What happened to my Instagram? Oh, whatever. That he basically wants everybody else. He basically wants everybody else to do the work for him, because there was a comment that was made behind scenes about let's try. And by the way, I've been pushing it for months. Hey, we need to get you in debates in town halls, but you have to show up for meetings. That's the only way that's going to happen. You have to show us that you want to be part of it. And by the way, the Lincoln Party isn't going to be any better. I saw Ballard was on with Brian and Jerry earlier today, it was an okay interview. Props to Jerry though for asking Ballard about the boys and girls sports thing, and then it was hilarious watching Ballard like flub his way through it. But Ballard said it's like they're going to pick their candidates. They're going to be very particular on who they run in the Lincoln Party after this year. So if you guys thought that the Lincoln Party was going to be full of a bunch of misfit toys, spoiler alert, you will still be politically homeless unless the Indie Reporter Party decides to run for office. So anyway, I think that's all I got. Possible Saturday show, you guys just check out Whitty Review on the Facebook. So, but also make sure you go to the Indie Reporter Facebook. Yeah, Lincoln Party is totally lame. The Lincoln Project Party is more like it. Make sure you go on to Facebook. Make sure you put a good comment on the Indie Reporter Facebook. Also, make sure you watch the segments on the Rob Kendall show. It was really good, and also a little bit brought light about how the police might want to buy a Mustang. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying about like Larry. Larry gets it. If there's any libertarian that I've said that I would back, it's Larry. It's Larry and Luke that I would back 100% no matter what. I wish there were more libertarians like Luke and Larry. Anyway, no matter what happens, if Larry wants my help, if he runs for any office next year, you have my sword. Is Abe the logo? Yeah, it's so lame, dude. It's such a psyop, Larry. It's such a psyop. And it's so fun because we have like less than 100 days now until the general election, and we're just gonna have our way with Ballard. It's gonna be so much fun. Anyway, Steve in the chat, let's go. Anyway, make sure, I don't know if I'm having a show on Saturday, but just keep an eye on. I'm gonna try for it. Anyway, you guys have a good night. Make sure you go watch Mouthwash right after this on the Chateau Days Mar Hill Studio. Love you guys. Bye.